So much.
Perfect. Hello, everyone. My name is Valerie Spankera. I am the interim slash assistant director of Native Student Services here at University of Alaska Anchorage. I grew up in Colorado on the lands of the Cheyenne, Ute, and Arapaho peoples in a small town called Estes Park, small by Colorado standards, about 6,000 people. I'm non-native, I'm Czech and German, and so it is a massive honor to get to work with all the students that I get to work with here at Native Student Services. I started at UAA as an admissions counselor, working predominantly with students coming from rural Alaska. I moved into advising, and then when the job opened for Assistant Director of Native Student Services, I applied in summer 2021 after the staff of NSS asked me to apply because I've always worked with Native Student Services since being at UAA. And then about a month in became interim director. And it's been amazing ever since to really help shape and grow and kind of refocus what we do here at NSS. And then also joining me today is Paula or Nazgauk Jones, if you want to introduce yourself.
Yeah, nasga ko nga queen kak mi mo matagwa mani UAA mi dinay namnun ni Charlie Lachta. Good morning. My Yupik name is Nazgauk. I'm originally from Queen Hawk, Alaska, which is in Southwest Alaska, small Yupik community where my entire family still resides today. But I work here at UAA as Student Services Coordinator. I'm also an alumni of UAA. And so I utilize services here at NSS, which has just really helped shape the work that I do. And I'm just really thankful to be here today at Guyana.
Perfect. So we'll be sharing a little bit about what we do at Native Student Services. It's also, we both looked through the participants, and hello to everyone we know. It's great recognizing a lot of names. So we are a space and a place to serve Native students, Alaska Native, Native American, and Indigenous students who are enrolled at UAA. We are dedicated to serving all Native students, regardless of their major or degree or class standing or GPA or anything like that. We are here for all of them. And just a little bit of information about Native students at UAA. Any given semester, there are about 1,000 to 1,500 Native students enrolled in UAA classes. And just for context of UAA in general, there's about 11,000 students, at least as of last fall. And so it's about 10% of students at UAA are Native and within our purview to get to work with.
And so here at NSS, we really have just shifted the direction of NSS and our mission over the past few years since we came back full-time onto campus. Again, we are just really focused on what students need and what they are asking for. And so we really encourage students to stay grounded in their native values, what they know, what their elders have taught them, as a way to feel a sense of belonging in our space. It's a wonderful thing to be able to walk in to NSS and know just you have a community, you have people that you more than likely are going to run into a family member within our space, and you're able to practice your language. We provide culturally sustaining support with navigating, this Western system of education. A lot of it is foreign for a lot of students that are coming into UAA because a lot of the way that things are done are very different than what we know in our Indigenous ways of knowing. And we definitely help them, encourage them to be proud of where they come from and what they know. And we empower them to advocate on behalf of themselves. And so what we tell them is that they need to bring their whole selves into this setting. And, when it comes to classes or homework assignments, that they have all the knowledge that they need and that they can write about it and that they can talk about it within their classes. And so that is one of our real main focuses here at NSS is being a community and being proud of our identity as Indigenous peoples.
So this is our space on campus. We're on the main Anchorage campus in Rasmussen Hall, back behind another office that you have to walk through. We have, it's like a place that students often, like during the week, are here studying most of the time, unless we have an event going on. We have smart boards that we use a lot of times for different hybrid events or to show different videos or films or things like that. We have some computers over on the wall with the windows, in case students maybe don't have one or forgot theirs or their charger they forgot or died or whatever. So those still get used. We do help get students connected to other technology resources that now exist on campus, like renting a laptop for the entire semester from IT services, which is great. We have a private study room, which is pretty amazing and gets used a lot, where some of our classes at UAA are still on Zoom and some are in person, and there's usually only 15 minutes between classes if they're scheduled right back to back. And so a lot of times students will do their Zoom class in our study room and then go and to the in-person class right afterwards. Or they take math placement tests or writing placement tests in there if they just need a place that is quiet to be able to do that. We always have snacks for students and want to make sure that they are not hungry and also connect them with additional resources since food insecurity is definitely a thing. But that is important. I think a lot of our events all revolve around food as well. And then we have tutoring services. So we have a writing tutor and a math tutor. And just whatever students need or asking for help with, we kind of help connect them with whatever that might be, which is sort of how we ended up with tutoring services. And they're both amazing, and we're so grateful to have them. And they're in our space, and so students can meet with them right within our space. We also, just in general, the services that we provide, we do a lot of transition support and advising. So if there's a new student coming to UAA, we are helping them get set up, go through all the steps, and then also just helping to navigate the system. It can be really confusing. And so we try to be a place where students can ask any question and we'll either know the answer or get them connected to the right person. And we work a lot with students advisors in their academic programs to help make sure that they're in the right classes and with the professors that students are telling us they like the most if there's a choice. And so really making sure they're set up and have the right expectations for their semester as well. We connect students with scholarship resources or under other funding opportunities, different cultural support and events within our space. Like Paula said, like we know where students are coming from, and so they don't have to like over explain, and we build relationships with them. I think everything revolves around relationships for us. And so just providing that ongoing support throughout each semester and throughout the time a student is at UAA is really important to us. And then mentorship and just having a community where students know they can come and we know their names, other students will know them, and that they feel like they can belong or do belong. We do a lot of different activities and events throughout the year. We send a newsletter out every Monday. So in case also there are opportunities that we should share with students, we're always happy to put stuff into our newsletter or share on social media. But each Monday in our newsletter, we say what's happening that week, and it goes out to all enrolled Native students. And so some of the stuff we do, there's open gyms, which it's basketball, volleyball, traditional games, all that kind of stuff. And it's just a good way. It's usually on Fridays to end the week, and then we come back to NSS and have food after. We do art nights. We just had one last night. And so some students were coming to learn to bead, but they can also do whatever they want and bring their own projects they're working on, or we have a ton of different supplies. We have a Native Languages Club. It started as Yuchtun Club with Paula and me when students were asking for like help with their Yupik class that they were in. And it sort of has evolved into just students who maybe aren't Yupik showing up. And so we have incorporated their languages. And even if we don't know their language and they're learning their language, we help get connected to resources so that we can all learn each other's languages, which is pretty incredible. And sitting and finding similarities and things like that. We've done different film screenings with Indigenous filmmakers. We have an Indigenous Made Market. This will be our second annual one coming up. That's not the right date. Sunday, November 12th, not the 15th, which we're excited about. That's open to the community. It's at Rasmussen Hall. We'll be posting more on our social media, but it's students get to come and have a table and sell whatever it is that they make. We have incredibly talented students that we get to work with. There's a scholarship and internship fair, which will be in February. That is just important for getting students connected with different opportunities because sometimes they don't always know. They get to talk directly to the person who's offering a scholarship or internship. We do graduation celebrations. Ungawat Club is our partnership with Alaska Native Heritage Center on Fridays. APU students are invited as well, and we do different cultural activities. So Friday is definitely the cultural day. We've made qasbaqs, harpoons, drums, fish skin moccasins, Devil's Club salve, like all kinds of stuff. And then we support Native clubs. So if a student wants to start a club, I think there's a group of students that are starting a traditional games club like NYO that we're helping get up and going, but there's a variety of other clubs that students have started or interested in started, so we help make sure they know how to do that.
So the NET program is a program that's been with Native Student Services for quite some time, although it has shifted in the last couple of years. It is a program specifically designed for first-year Native students attending UAA or students that have taken maybe a 10-year break from school and are coming back and just want that additional support. And it's really, again, focused on building a community and connection with each other as Native students navigating UAA. And so there is an application, if you know of any students that are going to be coming to UAA either in the spring, because we offer NET in both semesters, or well, that application is open right now. You can find that on our website. The application comes directly to me and Valerie. And so once I see that application come in, that is when I start my outreach with the students, working intentionally with them, getting them ready for the semester to begin. So you guys can definitely find that or have students look on our website to find that application. And so it starts off well in the fall, after doing a lot of the outreach with the students and working with them through a step-by-step of the admissions process, from getting transcripts in to helping them with their placement exams, scholarships, everything on up to advising. We have NET Week orientation. Students that are part of the NET program are able to move on to campus 1 week before the semester starts and about 3 to 4 days before the rest of the student population moves into the dorms. So it is a much quieter, smoother transition to the dorms. And at that point, they already know Valerie and I, because we talk to them on the phone regularly and meet with them over Zoom. So it's just kind of a really great time to get hugs and welcome them onto the campus. During NET orientation week, we offer several hours of programming each day, from kind of learning how to college. So we are showing them how to navigate some of UAA's technology, like Blackboard, which is so important here at UAA, because that is where you're going to find all of your classes, where you're going to upload your assignments. So we're showing them how to upload assignments and where to find where their assignments are going to be, and how to connect with students in each class, along with other UAA technology, making sure that they can see where their FAFSA is, what their tuition balance may be, how to pay off their tuition balance, and things like that. And during that time, they are becoming familiar not only with each other, but with campus as well, because it is a more personalized tour. We show them where their classes are. Actually, at the end of orientation week, we actually send them out on a scavenger hunt. So they get into groups, and you know, during that whole week, we were just like, where was this statue at? Or where is this building at? And we send them out. Valerie and I are like staring out the window, kind of worried, because, you know, they're out on their own. But they do come back and they win a prize, and they end up having a really great time during that time. Once the semester starts, again, those students that were in the NET program are then in our NET course that both Valerie and I co-teach. We start off each NET class with a Native value. I'm Yupik. I was raised by my grandparents, so I reflect a lot on those values that I was taught. And then other students as well get into groups, and then they talk about those values and what those values mean to them or their community. Again, building connections, because we truly believe that once you are connected with a community and other students who understand you and where you're coming from, that you will flourish in your academics here. And then it will also help you navigate the university. Once those first 3 weeks of the semester are over, we start incorporating elders and other Native community members into our class to tell their stories. We have anything from, you know, students that are in their master's program or to have just earned their PhD, talking about how they were able to navigate through school while, maybe being homesick or, going through some really hard times, and how they were able to keep it going. And that focus again is on building a community. And so what they are doing is part of that reciprocity, right? Sharing their story and encouraging students and congratulating students for making it this far. And then during the second semester, there are mentorship opportunities for students that were a part of the NET program because they want to give back. They want to share what they learned in their first semester in the NET program. And then again, we are trying to incorporate elders into our program and into our space as much as possible. And these here are just some of the feedbacks that students have gave about NSS and the NET program. And it's just, a really great time to get to learn students. It's wonderful to have our space so full of students that are coming from everywhere, because we take the time to learn about each other, learn about our different cultures and our similarities as Indigenous peoples, while also being able to help them academically. Like I have said many times during this presentation, that focus on community, sense of belonging, pride in our identities is really what helps students succeed in their academics, because they are able to stay grounded in their native values and remember where they come from. And we definitely encourage that in the space. Boyan.
And that is our quick presentation. So this is information for our office. So it is myself, Paula Ornazgauk. Marissa is our student services coordinator advisor, who is term through the end of this year, unless we find more funding. But her position, she's working with the students who have completed the NET program, and providing mentorship opportunities and creating a mentorship program, and providing ongoing support to all the students that we serve here at NSS, not just NET students. And then Cheryl Turner is our office manager, and she has been with NSS for 23 years, and we're so grateful for her because she holds so much of our history. And so she's kind of our elder in residence and gets to hang out with students, which they love. So we're so grateful for her. But this is our contact information. The best way to get connected with us is, you can contact us directly, or our main email, or if you have any incoming students that you're working with, regardless of age, have them fill out our NET application on our website. And on there, we open it for the upcoming semester. So right now it's open for any students who are starting spring semester. And then in, I think, January, February, we'll open it up for students who are coming summer or fall. We run the NET course in fall semester and spring semester. But that's a pretty good way to get connected with us. Paula reaches out to all incoming Native students, but then especially if a student fills out the NET application, that's kind of indicating to us okay, you're actually planning to come and looking for kind of getting connected for that support, going through all the way too many steps to get to UAA. So, but you don't have to be part of the NET program. We'll work with all students. Yeah. So thank you. A couple of things that I wanted, thank you so much for the comments. I was reading through the chat. And I do want to say we do a lot of advocacy for students who do tell us things that happen within their courses, and whether it is helping them maybe draft an email to a professor to address something if that's within reason, but if it is particularly kind of egregious and really needs to be addressed, helping take it to a higher level for kind of accountability for when things are not okay. So we do a lot of that. Students definitely let us know when things are not okay or things make them, they notice, they know. So we do a lot of advocacy. And yes, we also help a lot with finances. So if a student isn't sure what their FAFSA means once it's been processed by UAA and how that all is going to apply to their classes or their not sure like how all the scholarships are going to work or be applied to the account, we will sit and talk to them and make sure they understand all of that and how to find that information, and make sure they have enough money to be able to attend. There are definitely some situations where maybe a student is trying to start really last minute and they don't have the funds to come, they don't have enough money to live in the dorms, and all the deadlines have passed and it just is not feasible to come up with $8,000, $9,000. And so we work with them to maybe postpone for the next semester and make sure they have enough resources to be able to attend without going into a ton of debt, ideally. So definitely that's super important for us as well. We do that. A lot of other advisors will not do that kind of work. We do everything because we know it's important. And I am always double checking with financial aid on everything, or our bursar's office. And we do have free feminine products at NSS as well. So that we know is important. And yes, students at Kachemak Bay campus can absolutely tap in. We will serve any students. We have Zoom meetings, phone meetings, anything. If there's a way that we can help 100%, we definitely want to. Occasionally, when we're able to, some events are hybrid or on Zoom. I know we need to do more with that. So that's kind of one of our goals, is to make sure that we are properly serving all students who maybe aren't here in Anchorage, but we will meet with them and answer any questions. Like there's a student I know that we've worked with who's in Nome and taking all of her classes from there, but she's still connected to our office. Yes. Yeah. Students, definitely we help get them connected to jobs on campus. There is usually at the beginning of the semester a job fair for on-campus jobs. We hire students as tutors or student workers within the NSS space, but we will absolutely help students get jobs on campus and be references for them, or whatever we can do to help. And we also have had career services come into our space and do resume workshops with students, since that comes up quite a bit. So it's kind of like when students tell us they want something, we make sure that we are providing it. We joke that they kind of run the space. None of us really are in, the students are kind of in control of everything we do. Yeah, transfer students can. I mean, Paula, you can kind of speak to that if you want, since it's.
Yes, absolutely. So if, as Valerie said, I reach out to all incoming Native students attending UAA. And so I do get a lot of transfer students on my list. But you will definitely get like an outreach letter from me, kind of letting you know who I am, letting you know that there is a space on campus that has services and resources that might be beneficial to you. And then I say a little bit about the NET program, along with a link, and along with a link to my personal, where students can press on it and make an appointment with me, you know, like that works for them. I generally work with students that are about 24 credits and under, but students that I see who reply to my email or fill out the NET application and say are transfer students with 24 credits or more, I usually get them connected with Valerie or Marissa. We all work together to make sure that every single student that is wanting resources and support gets that in the best way possible. What I really strive to do, and what I tell all students, is that we are kind of their point person. Once they get connected with us and they have any question, that they know that, you know, they have our direct phone number, they have our emails, and we will kind of do the background work for them. And try to get them the answer. If we don't know the answer, again, we will do that work and start calling around looking for that answer for the students, because we don't want them to be stressed out and having to call around to 20 different departments to get one answer. So we do a bit of everything in our power that we can do for students. So absolutely, if you are a transfer student, we are here to help support you and help you navigate the system as well.
In terms of FAFSA completion, we all of us attended. I think ACPE put on FAFSA trainings and we attended it, but I don't know that any of us feel super confident, because a lot of the students, not all of them, but some students we work with have situations or like circumstances that are particularly complicated, and I'm very, like, I don't want to do something wrong. We work with financial aid a lot when things get flagged. And actually, like, I notice stuff quite a bit when we're working with students and looking at their, once it's been processed, kind of FAFSA stuff. To correct issues that were made on FAFSA accidentally, because it is confusing after the fact. So I'm good at that part. The FAFSA completion, we'll sit with them to do it. But if there's anything that I am not sure about, either I'm chatting financial aid or generally recommending them to meet with ACPE. So we're grateful for for you guys. Who
Thank you. You can always send students our way. Yes.
So
Thank you
someday
for your
we'll be
efforts, though.
Yes.
And we will definitely walk students. I just walked a student in the NET program who we just realized didn't get their FAFSA completed. So, and they didn't want to go to FAFSA by themselves. So or over to financial aid by themselves. So I walked with them and sat with them and helped them explain what was going on to the financial aid people. So we're willing to do anything to best support any student.
Well, thank you. You are wonderful and you're doing wonderful things. And you can see the comments and words of encouragement. So thank you both.
Thank you.
Joyanna, for having us, and please reach out to us if you guys have any further questions or send students our way. Also elders, we love elders. Send elders our way as well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, well, have a good day, ladies. Thanks. Bye-bye.